Hey guys, Oblivion here, coming at you with a quick Devpro replay duels montage of my Freelancer deck for this week. I apologize for not making two videos like I promised each week. I'm sorry guys, I recently got a job, plus families are coming over, all that type of stuff. Anyways, um, there's really not that big of a difference between the Freelancer build and the Freelancer I profiled like a week ago. There's really no big difference except I cut down on one Mother Grizzly, and I'm running two Lightning Dragon and two Mega Mobiuses. Now, let me just cut to the chase on why I opted to run two Lion and Darkness Dragon into Mega Mobiuses. I never dead draw them. Never. I've never dead drawed a lad or anything. I've always had a sweet spot for lad. I cannot drop the card. I can't. Um. Anyways, with Mega Mobius, it kind of is bad for me because, especially on Death Pro, maybe in real life it wouldn't be, but on Death Pro, all I face is Lightsworn, and it's just complete shit. I hate it. And Mega Mobius is just kind of swap frog food in that matchup unless I drop a lad, and then it's a reoccurring 2800 beat stick with Light and Darkness Dragon. But other than that, it's completely useless in that matchup. And I feel like Lightsworns are going to be a deck that we're going to be seeing very often. But that's neither here nor there. So let's just get started with the replays. So this is going to be CNC versus a quick draw deck. Also, I want to apologize, guys, that Deathpro does go a little bit too fast for me, so I can't really commentate as I would normally. Anyways, so he's playing quick draws. He would have actually quasar'd me twice if he had quick draw synchron. Quick draw synchron, I believe, is the one you discard a card and then you special summon it. But he didn't, unfortunately. He could have quasar'd me twice. But anyways, here, I'm just normal summon the Mother Grizzly. Like I said, Mother Grizzly you usually want to like bash it into something because they're more than likely they're not gonna attack into it because it's a hand probably if it's set down. But you want to get the effect off, so that's why you would want to attack it into something. Anyways, I'm gonna pause it right here just so you guys can see. He summons Goyo Guardian. I completely forgot Goyo Guardian was TCG legal. In this in Dust Pro, I completely forgot about it. But anyways, he attacks my Mother Grizzly. Mother Grizzly's effect activates, but so does Goyo Guardian's. Mother Grizzly's effect resolves first to special summon the Swap Frog, then Goyo Guardian's effect activates to bring back a monster in the graveyard and special summon it. Now, this makes Swap Frog miss timing. I did not know this at this time. Now, Swap Frog is still alive. Why? Because I have two foods for it in my hand. Plus, I have one in the field. But regardless, Swap Frog, I don't want you guys to make the mistake to be like, yes, I finally got my Swap Frog, and then Swap Frog misses timing. And then you're kind of just fucked there. So I want you guys to know that if, careful with Goyo Guardian because it does make Swap Frog or a card like this miss timing. So careful with that. Anyways, I do make some misplays in this duel, but I do end up coming back. I could have actually finished the duel much earlier. I think it was this duel. But I do make a lot of mistakes. Anyways, here I'm doing the standard Swap Frog shenanigans. Here I'm just stupid. I wanted to use Mother Grizzly's effect to get my Sea Lancer because I could get multiple cards in the Banish Zone. So just to get my Sea Lancer stacked. Here I get my Gotcha Gotcha, equip my two cards to the Sea Lancer, and I go for the Dark Dose because I don't want the Goyo on board, and I want my pluses off. Sea Lancer. But in the end, it does work out. He does end up wasting a torrential tribute, and I end up just recycling everything else. So it's still good. I still have my Sea Lancer, with food for it in the grave, which is the best thing. Unfortunately, most of my tributes were in Gachi Gachi, but whatever. So anyways, yeah, he could have quasar'd me multiple times, but he did not have a quick draw synchron, and I just kind of had all the answers. So that's number one. Number two is with Infernities. Infernities are a deck that are very underrated in my opinion. They're really good, but whatever. I'm assuming running a Trap Tricks Infernity build. Um, but he's running the Synchro variant with Beetle, which I haven't seen in quite some time. I'm assuming he's running the Void Infernity Doom Dragon lock. Here I opened up gorgeous. Please keep in mind when you do open up like this is a gorgeous hand for you. Why? Because you open up with a wall and a wall. This card has to be destroyed at least 3 times before it gets off the board, and this card has to be destroyed at least 3 times before it gets off the board. Some people see this and it's like, damn, you overcommitted to the field. No, you didn't. Why? Because you have Max C. Especially with the deck with Infernity, it's ridiculous. Max C is the card you want to have at hand. Plus, Sea Lancer catches you um, catches you pluses with the Duke Rock Search plus the Poison Draw. And Gachi Gachi is a great card just to kind of have around as a beater. Your opponent can't really get rid of it. And it's just gorgeous. I love making this play. You only need a Swap Frog, a Sea Lancer, and 3 Waters to make this play. I believe I've shown it multiple times though, but I don't know. Anyways, I'm loving it because you know, it's ridiculous. So here I get my pluses again. I'm not scared at all. I want to recycle my Sea Lancer to tribute it again. I get the title, tribute the Swap Frog, and I was gonna do the same thing. Don't be scared to tribute a Swap Frog if you know for a fact that you have a Duke Frog banished, because you're just gonna search out the Swap Frog again. It's really not that big of a deal. And then the title plus the reoccurring Sea Lancer, uh, 2700 Sea Lancer was gonna be game regardless. He wasn't gonna be able to do anything because he completely, he should have solemn warning either the Frog or the Sea Lancer. But oh well. Anyways, that's Infernity. This is against the new deck for animals. I did not know about this deck. This is the first time I actually played against one. But nonetheless, it was a pretty good duel in my opinion. So here I open up, pretty good. I open up one way of getting swap, which is a dupe. So regardless, dupe is going to get destroyed, because they have to beat over it if they want to get to my life points. And he goes for a very all-in play. I could have had anything, but he just goes for it. He goes for the other card, gets my dupe. Really, really cool. I mean, cool for me because I got my dupe. Anyways, I go for the hyper deck thinning here. I don't believe I use salvage in this though. I don't think I do. If you guys also do not have like a play for that turn, like summoning Sea Lancer or Lightning Dragon, try to keep an extra water at hand. Let it be a frog, or let it be a Mother Grizzly. Try to keep an extra water in hand just to special summon the Swap Frog next turn. It's really good. Here I Veiler the Mathematician because I don't want him to set up the grave. Again, I don't know what the deck is, nor do I care at this point. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! You just want to win. So, here I just go for the deck Gusto Beat. Activates Mathematician's effect. Draw a card. He gets his Toy Pot. Here I thought that if I MST the Toy Pot after it gets the effect, it wouldn't resolve. Sort of like that, but I was wrong. Regardless, MST really wasn't going to do me much because he's running Vault of Kree, so it's not really that much. And he goes into a Dark Dust, leaving him completely wide open. What I love about this duel is because I show you guys that you can just win just running by the Frog variant. I do not draw into anything that's relatively big, so you just win using the Frog variant. And here I'm going for the OTK. I would have gone for a Rotom, and I would have just XYZ'd into another Gachi. It would have made this 1900, attack twice. This would have made it 1500, I think, because I can't do math. 1700, I'm sorry. And I just would have OTK'd right there and then. This is the last duel, and I think that it's the best duel. It was a very long duel. He's running Ninja, Trap Trick, Fire Fist, Anti-Metal. Really cool. I really liked it because Ninja Hanzo could get the ninjutsu art of transformation, special summon Diana, I believe it's her name, because it's an insect, and just do a lot of pretty cool plays. So I go for my standard opening, Swamp Frog, dump all the frogs in the grave. I special summon the Ronin just to have some backup in case it was a bear or some shit like that. You never know what you're playing, and it was. So maybe I should have set the MST as well, but oh well. I have a Maxi, so I was expecting, hey, maybe I could get a 1-for-1 at least. Here are compulsory evacuations, my Treeborn Frog. I guess he was assuming that I run the standard Monarch that's completely reliant on the Treeborn Frog, which is not. This duel is all about stalling, guys. You guys have to understand that when you're playing Sea Lancer, if you don't open up Sea Lancer with a couple of frogs, or you open up Sea Lancer and no Swap Frog, you have to stall. And this is the best tool I have to show you guys that this deck can stall until you draw your key pieces. Look, my opponent has 5 back row and a 2400 beast deck while I have a Gachi Gachi on board. Like, I should be terrified, especially the format that we're playing in. I should be terrified, but I'm not. Why? Because I know that I can come back with just a Sea Lancer. I know. Here I MST the bottomless. I clearly know it's a bottomless because he searches, gets the Rhoda, and he's just getting pluses for days here. He's just getting pluses while I'm just kind of waiting for my things, Here I Ghost Trick his Hanzo because I don't want him to like transformation into Diana. Dionia, I don't know how to pronounce it, whatever. I finally draw into a Sea Lancer. I'm like, perfect. He solemns warning the Sea Lancer, the swap frog. I'm like, oh, well, fuck. Whatever, more equips for me. Here, I do, trying to get the maximum number of equips for Sea Lancer, and then I just, I stack them up just so I could have a big, undestructible monster. And, like I said, you slowly bait out the back row. What I love about this deck is that you could come back no matter what. You can come back no matter what, which is great. Here it goes into this card. I didn't know this card existed. It was pretty cool. He would have gotten over my Sea Lancer, and I might have had a hard time. I might have, but not really. And he misplays here because he thinks he could activate it more than once per turn. I draw into my enemy controller, which is pretty cool, and I chain it to the Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare just to get the card that I want, and Rodent Totem Food. That's why I also attributed the Swap Frog, not the Rodent Totem. And here, I'm just going for standard shenanigans. I would have won the duel here, but I've misplayed. I actually misplayed terribly because I forgot to activate Sea Lancer's effect to attach everything. So, Sea Lancer's effect, he just stayed at 27. I'm sorry, at 17. But he would have gone up to 27 and I would have won the game. But, me being batty, I completely forgot. But regardless, he wasn't going to come back from this board at all. So I just use Sea Lancer's effect. Again, it just nets you pluses. You're going to have a hand. Regardless, yes, you're going to come into the field, but you will have a hand. Which is why I love this deck. And which is why I'm very passionate about it. He goes for the Sea Lancer. I get all my pluses again. So I don't really mind if Sea Lancer goes back into the deck because I have 18 cards in deck. I've decked them a lot. So I'm going to draw one way or another. And here, I know I win because I can just Treeborn Frog, creature swap into something, and I win. But here I just try to go more ham, trying to show off, Land of Darkness, whatever. And that's the game, guys. Anyways, I just wanted to show you guys this replay, just to show you guys the potential of Sea Lancer or frogs in general. This format, I think that frogs in general, this format are going to do wonders. But no one ever believes me. But here and there, because Shadal's, mid rash is going to be a thing. But you don't really special summon much, except from a normal summon. But you have cards that would get over mid rush if you want to main Kai's, if you want to, do something. Remember that Sea Lancer is also a deck that you can side into Shadow Imprisoning Marriage. You can side into Traps, guys, because Traps don't affect you at all. You guys would have seen me multiple times. If I would have set an MST enemy controller, I would have been fine because the deck doesn't rely on Treeborn Frog. It relies on Rodent Totem. So it's not all that bad. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoy. I'll probably deck profile this if many of you guys want to see it. It's really not that big of a difference, but it's a difference regardless. And I want to keep you guys up to date because I want information from you guys. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. It's been Oblivion. Catch you guys later. Deuces.